俺が食い止める。行くぞ。俺が食い止める。さっさと気をためろ。死ぬなよ、ベジータ。
Alright, what's going on, you fam? Raiyuden here. We got the data download. Let's see what is coming to Legends this week. Big shout out to Hydros. Thank you so much for the data download info. Let's jump right into it. So, of course, a new raid. You may notice down here the new special character that they teased on Twitter yesterday. It turns out it's Bulma, very similar to the 1,000-day login bonus Bulma. So she's blue type, which is cool, but another raid. This one is going to be Vegito against Corrupt Zamasu. Yeah, farm the raid, CC, yippee. Next, we got new card arts for Bardock and Igine from the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie, which is cool. This is going to be the next PvP season where you can exchange these little medals for LFZ Power CC, all that other fun stuff. Extreme battle, so you can get some LF guaranteed tickets just to start up your units or get some new LFs, which is nice. Here's that raid that I was just talking to you about, so another opportunity to keep farming. This is going to be the event for the Bulma character. I honestly am not sure how Bulma comes into play with all of this, but I'm guessing the very special part comes from the fact that in OG Dragon Ball, Bulma is sort of the first character you're introduced to. She is the start of the journey for Goku, so I think she's special in that regard, and she represents the beginning of things. Maybe that's what they meant by very special. Next, we got this little event for erasers. Thank goodness for this, because they did an Ultra Bonanza that lasted one day. I have no erasers, and I'm pretty sure Ultra Bonanza is also a scam, because I didn't get very good rolls on equips. This is the kit for this Bulma. Let's go ahead and see how well she does. I'm expecting a lot of things out of her because they labeled her a special free-to-play character, so let's see what that is. Bulma, main ability. Randomly destroy 2 of your cards and draw a blast and special arts card next. Restore on health by 20% and ki by 50. Cancel own attribute downgrades out of normal conditions. Give herself cover null for 10 timer counts and restore ally health by 10%. This is cool. A green plus a blast card. Very similar to Pan, who draws a green and a blue card. I will take this. Blast cards have a lot more value in this meta with all these countering strike gauges, so that's a nice little win. Our first passive applies the following effects when the battle starts: 80% damage inflicted, 70% reduced damage received, card draw speed, and 60% ki recovery. Not bad, not bad. 70% damage reduction, card draw speed, ki recovery is pretty good for a free character. Applies the following effects when she enters the battlefield. Draws a blast card next. 20% blast damage inflicted, -5 to own blast costs, and shorten ally subcount by 1. Activates twice. I like this. Guaranteed blast card. How nice. We have a select number of blast cover change units, you know, Vegito being the most noteworthy one. But how nice of us to have a unit that can guarantee blast cards to be dealing with all the strike auto gauges. Very nice. Applies the following effects to allied character Goku or tag Dragon Ball when this character is switched to standby. Restores own health by 10%, 30% to damage inflicted for 15 counts, and plus 50% ki recovery for 15 counts. That's a lot. This is a monstrous support, and she heals him by 10%. I like how it's Dragon Ball and character Goku. This pretty much aligns with what we just talked about, where her interaction with Goku represents the start of our entire journey. So for her to be buffing up Goku's in particular, or anyone from the beginning of her arc, I think it's a heartwarming touch. I like that quite a bit. 30% extra damage, 50% ki recovery, healed by 10%. That's a nice little win. Applies the following effects to allied character Goku or tag Dragon Ball characters when this character is defeated. A permanent 30% damage inflicted buff with 50% ki recovery. Really strong death buffs too. I like it so far. She seems like a really good support. Second passive applies the following effects to self every time this character uses a blast card. She draws another blast card. Oh, that's a nice little bit. Activation count resets after character switch. Restores health by 3% and ki by 5. 20% to blast damage inflicted cannot be cancelled. Activates 5 times. Applies buff effect, nullify, destroy card effects for 5 counts. That's nice. Activation count resets after character switch. This is actually quite nice. This nullify destroy card effect is huge for one of the tag switch characters. I believe it's the Vegito side that destroys your cards, and the Gogeta side reduces your ki. Having a anti-destroy card effect, once you proc their 50% little unique their little like disrupt mechanic is pretty nice. But the blast into blast is quite powerful. Show up with a blast, use a blast, goes into another blast, and she's stacking up blast damage inflicted. It resets when she swaps out, but yeah, at least guaranteed 40% blast damage right there. So 80%, 20%, 20, and then she's also giving the 30% to herself because she is included in the tag Dragon Ball stuff. Cool. Oh wait, sorry, that's on standby. Never mind. Well, you do have an opportunity to show up for 5 timer counts with it. Either way, you know what I'm talking about. Cool. Applies the following effects to the enemy when this character lands a blast card hit. Seal one card randomly, just like the free-to-play 18. Sealed card cannot be used for 10 timer counts. Inflict attribute downgrades plus 10% to blast damage received for 5 counts. Cancels enemy buff effects. And that resets after character switch. This is strong. Taking away buff effects by landing a blast card? Wow. I like that. Applies the following effects to self when enemy performs a cover change while this character is on the field. Draws a blast card and restores 50 ki. Her Z ability is for Dragon Ball, event exclusive, or Goku characters, getting blast attack and defense. That's cool. Her blue card, major explode damage. The following effects upon activation. Draws a blast card. So you can use the blue card to force a vanish to draw a blast card, and you now have another blast card and 50 ki, and hopefully you can swap out and attack your opponent, which leads to just a bajillion blast cards. 30% special move damage inflicted. The following effects also occur if this character has used a blast card. Ooh, use a blast arts card 3 or more times. The blue card will now restore her vanish by 50% and inflicts the enemy with 50% blast damage received. You guys can see the play here, right? If Bulma has used the blast card 3 or more times, so after one combo in the fight, they want you to set up a scenario where you either hit the opponent with the blast card or you use it to bait out a vanish. And then if you vanish the opponent's attack, you not only got a blast card from that, but maybe you get a blast card that turns into another blast card. And by the way, this is 50% blast damage received is only on activation. You don't actually have to hit them with this. So your opponent vanishes, you vanish them, you drew a blast card, you can use a blast card that turns into another blast card. She shows up on the field and gets a blast card, and now your opponent takes 50% more blast damage, so you just spam them out with blast cards. And all the Bulma characters use an Uzi, so I'm pretty sure that's what she's going to be using, so you just mow them down with bullets. That's cool. Her green card draws a blast card, gives her 50 ki, 10% to blast damage inflicted for 10 counts, plus 50% to the next blast arts damage inflicted, cannot be stacked. Also applies the following effects to self based on the number of times a blast card was used by this character. If she used 3 blast cards, the green will give her another 20% blast damage inflicted. If you've used 5, you get you nullify cover change for 10 counts. And if you use 10 or more blast cards, you also get card draw speed. Wow, this is a really strong green card. Very cool. 1,000-day Bulma look-alike seeming pretty cool. Here's a login bonus for 6 years. Here's Vegito Blue's equipment that is going to be releasing very soon, and there's a new equip for Supreme Kai. So let's go ahead and jump over to in-game to see the remaining info. Here we go. Let's see in-game for a couple things. I want to take a look at Bulma's stats. Oh yeah, she's not in there yet. But we can take a look at equipment, archive. Vegito Blue is expecting a new PLAT equip. Let's see. Okay, here it is. All right, Vegito Blue. This guy needs cover null, and he needs a lot of damage inflicted. I mean, his Zenkai was really watered down because they were scared of making him too strong. So now he needs a lot out of this equip to be viable. What did they do? Alright, 15% max HP, 40% to both defenses. 50% damage inflicted, 35% to base strike and blast, 30% to strike arts damage inflicted while battle style range type against battle style range type while there are 3 tag god key battle members remaining, 30% to blast arts damage inflicted against battle style melee type while there are 3 god key battle members remaining. Really? Really? They're going to make you have to run Vegito Blue on God Key in order to get some of these buffs? For what reason? Vegito Blue is the one character where he should have had unconditional buffs so he could be used on any variant of any team in order to make him seem competent. That, I don't agree with that, but whatever. Honestly, the last passive is what matters the most. Okay, so increases arts card draw speed by 1 level. Applies buff effect, nullify. Oh, he's got cover null. Nullify enemy special actions that activate when changing cover to self when this character enters the battlefield for 3 counts. Also applies the following effects upon landing a green card hit. Restore 50 key. Applies buff effect, nullify special actions that activate when changing cover for 3 counts. So long story short, in Vegito Blue's early counter, because he draws a green card, I think, on the first time he shows up. He's basically able to give himself 6 timer counts with cover null with card draw speed. You can definitely set up niche scenarios where VB will look impressive with that, but I don't know why. I don't feel like this is enough. Vegito Blue does not have a lot in his kit. I think he's looking at 50% damage inflicted from his passives alone, and then you got 50% tops right there. That's very little. Very, very, very little. Card draw speed is very nice for a character that gets card into card, but 3 timer counts, a cover null, I don't know. If you get into a scenario where if you face a team that has no cover changes, or you don't have to deal with strike gauges and you can do your drop combos, this will reward you really heavily. But this counts way too much on your opponent doing a lot of swaps for VB to get a lot of his damage. So I honestly do not think that this is enough. It'll definitely be a sizable power up. There's no denying that. But it's still not going to be something. It's not going to be enough for you to be like, holy crap, I feel like I could throw this guy on a team and feel pretty good with using him. It should have been on the same level as the 1% Super Saiyan 4 Goku or Vegeta plats to me. Like, that damage inflicted should have been like 70-80%. Strike attack, blast attack should have been like 45-50%. This last one should have, I don't know why they did that, but it should have been something else. I don't know what it could have been, but it could have been something else in order to bolster his offenses. And this last passive, I guess, is still okay. We'll have to see in game. I don't want to judge too early, but I gotta throw him on a full God Key team, which is not the best. And then there was Shin was on an equip. Where's that? Oh, over here. Oh, what? 15% defenses, 10% max HP, 10% key recovery, 10% strike and blast defense if this character is battle style support type. Hey, wait a minute. Angel Vegeta is not a support type, he's a defense type. I have to double check. I have to double check. I have an obligation to now double check. Hey, Angel Vegeta! Hey, okay. And then what about free-to-play team? Was she a defense type? Hey, okay. I got some stuff to play around with. Okay. Either way, that's going to be it. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not really sure if that's going to be enough for VB, but we'll have to see in game. I was basically going to throw him on a future setup. I was going to use this team, but now I got to change out Bulma for a God Key support, which honestly would be Shin, but now that's interrupted because I don't want to run double reds. So now I have to go back to the drawing board on what I want to do here. Either way, let me know in the comment section below what you think about the PLAT equip alongside the new special Bulma. I think she looks pretty cool. We'll have to see how well she does in game. I think the overwhelming amount of blast cards will be pretty helpful in this crazy meta. And for the PLAT equip, It's gonna power up Vegito Blue. Literally anything would power him up. But is it enough for people to feel like feeling confident of actually using Vegito Blue? I doubt it. I don't think it's gonna be enough. I also don't think it's gonna, spring this guy into meta relevance. But hey, what actually happens in game is ultimately the deciding factor. He still takes away health restore, so oftentimes endurance characters go to 1 HP and you just tap attack them to death. So either way, let me know in the comment section below what you think. But until next time, be on the lookout for the showcases. Peace.